Vedic astrology is no better than Western astrology, especially if we are not using these excluding rules, which we will talk in the method 2 and 3. So in the first method, we will start how we are doing things at the beginning of our predictive journey. How we time the health, relationship, and career life, just using this simple method. And then we will add some nuance in the method 2, and then something which will make you very effective in that third method. The dasha, how we time the things related to the health or the relationship or career life. This is the central point of the whole predictive system. And we are going from symbols to the ideas or energies and then to conventional knowledge, how it will manifest for us. And there are those two types of translation. First, we need to translate from the symbol to the idea. For example, malefic in 9th house is Adur Bhagya, which means bad fortune. But as you may assume, this holds many possibilities how this can manifest physically for us. Therefore, we need to do second type of translation from the energy when we are adding some other points of the chart to exclude the option and arrive at that one or at least few possible predictions. So the more rules we know to exclude those options, the better Jyotisha we are and we can better understand our chart. And often this feeling that this period has changed in our life is for many people the inspiration or the trigger to be interested in Vedic astrology or any type of predictive system. For example, we may have those experience that for 10 years everything was nice, and then after some time, in 3 months, we got like 10 unfortunate events one by one, which were more problematic than the whole previous 10-year period. And even on the mental level, we feel that there is something has changed. We are more anxious. There is like more vata, more air, more disturbance. The mind is not so peaceful. And this often throws people into the arms of astrology, Jyotisha. There is a thin line. There is a bad pattern recognition of things which are not there. This is the negative, Rahu, like conspiracy theories or even more problematic things like part of mental challenges like schizophrenia or OCD, bipolar disorder in the personality, paranoid disorder. In all those challenges, there are also bad pattern recognition. But we also know that there is this bright side, Jupiter and Ketu type of pattern recognition, which is the whole spirituality, and the metaphysics, which is also based on those not material ideas. Let's go to that first method. We know that Vedic astrology has at least 5 major benefits. We have these remedies, we have these yogas, which have category, name, and very interesting effects. We have this Varga, this additional divisional charts. We have this analysis of the curse, which is like finding the central challenge. But then we also have the dasha, the timing system, the order of planets, by which you may know, oh, I'm now in the period of Venus. So whatever Venus is doing in our chart, that will happen. And therefore, this is making that whole system very attractive. Because if you are using the transits, which is the central tool in Western astrology, you have many planets going there. But in the dasha system, there is only one planet. The major period is you are under Mars or you are under the Sun. And then you can see what is exactly going on by analyzing this planet in the chart. So as we said, we have to know which houses mean what, right? Like 7 houses, business or relationship. And then we need to know when that will happen, when that planet get activated in our life, in which year. So this is the first approach. At the beginning, very popular. Even now you will see on the YouTube platform those astrologers who are using this one-factor predictions. This is very popular because it's easy and it brings that illusion that it can give you very concrete and physical, tangible predictions. So let's see the failing of this method here. We were doing the same chart for 3 parts. This is the 4th one. So you may see the previous analysis. We know that he was, the Alfred Kusenbauer was the Chancellor of Austria. And around 2008, because of some problems with the followers, with the people, because of also alliance with the other party, he resigned or stepped down after 1 year. And we know that it was in the time of Saturn. So we could say, yes, 7th Lord in 6th house person is resigning from Kendra, is going to the 12th house. We, in the part 2, we've named it this Tyaga Yoga, when someone is resigning, right? And it's fine. But then after some time, we learn that the planet may be also activated by UT or conjunction, or by Drishti aspect. The dispositor can also activate. So we know that there is also Jupiter there. But we will see in Jupiter dasha, person was very successful. There's also Venus there, right? We will find, wow, in Venus dasha, he created that whole party and brought it to leadership. So now if you will bring those predictions to your clients or family members, friends, or even yourself, then this will not lead you to anything good, right? It will be mistakes. It will be failed predictions. So now let us go to that second method. And here we are bringing the other points in the chart. Usually this will be related to the Navamsha and the special Varga chart. Varga chart is the additional chart, which is related to some area of life. For career life, we'll be using the D10, Dashamsa. Now, if you want to learn how to connect the Rashi chart, like with the line, with those Varga and Navamsha, to build nice stories, it is very, you could say, safe to connect it with the Dasha. The Dasha is the nice connector. You can do it in the safe way. And how to do it, the best Dasha for this would be the Audaika and the Narayana. So if you would like to learn the special secrets, how to do it, then you may see in the description. There is the link for that lecture to get about how to analyze those things. How to see how the Rashi is also activating the Navamsha and the Varga through some Dasha. And in other Dasha, the same planet in Rashi will activate other things. Okay, but let's go back. Why Saturn brought the problem and not Saturn, Jupiter, for example? And we have seen that also the Mercury and Gemini. Not only when he stepped down as a politician, but also many years later when he was working as advisor for the real estate companies, Strabag. He also resigned because of an insolvency in other company. And that was in Gemini, Narayana Dasha. So why in those periods? What was activated? And now we can see that in the Dashamsa, in the chart of work, the 8th house is very important when it comes to end of work, retirement or being fired or just end of some project. And we can see that Saturn, Rahu, and sign Mercury are in the 8th house. So now you may exclude. Now you have some tool to exclude. You have many options in the Rashi chart. And then by employing the Dashamsa, you will find that at least Saturn, Rahu, and Mercury these can activate something serious when it comes to ending, stepping down, ending of career life, because it will activate the 8th house. Even if we know this second method, this only can carry us so far, because we will also find that in other periods of the Saturn in our life, or the Rahu or the Mercury, it was not so bad, right? So that third method, the one which will make you even more advanced, because you are excluding even more, right? The more you exclude is like a detective, which is having 20 options, who is the potential killer. He is excluding by doing the investigation, and then by eliminating the potential options, he is only left with one. And then he is solving the case. And do we get some blessings of the rishis or some authors for this method, or is it all freestyling, right? In Faldipika, in the Kala Chakra Dasha, there is a Shloka 16, which is talking about the variation dashas, about the Kshema, Utpana, and Adana, and how we calculate them. But what is interesting, at the end of the Shloka, Mantreshvara is saying that if all of them are ending in the same time, and probably showing something bad, then the death or something bad may happen. He is saying Trividha, so threefold, 3 types of dasha, he mentioned before, so the Adana, Utpana, and the Kshema. And then he says Ada Patin Me, that which brings sudden downfall or affliction. So this is telling us that we can use many dashas at the same time to also exclude the options. And in this example, this is a very, very nice thing, because we can see that it was Saturn for Alfred Gusenbauer when he stepped down as a chancellor. And Moon Vimshotri, so the standard Vimshotri, which is showing how other peoples in our life are behaving, the general world, what's going on in the event of the world. It was Mercury. This was interesting because it was 2008. And Mercury is in the 8 of depths. So 2008, we know, big crisis, which also had big influence on the Austria. And at the time, Alfred Gusenbauer was also dealing with preventing the big debts. And Mercury in 8 is very good for that, because according to our tradition, if you have Mercury in 8, it is rather paying off or removing the debt. And how he was doing, we can see the variation dasha of Saturn. But what I wanted to show you here is that in that time when he stepped down as a chancellor, it was beginning of a 2 dasha, so 2 big system has changed. So now we can see if something big or important or major is happening, we can reflect the situation that many dashas will change at the same time. And then we can see what will be going on if we see at what point of the chart they are pointing, right? If there is a good house like 10th, and in the dashamsa that will be 5th, and we will have a big promotion, something very good will happen. We can go to other country, we can marry, we can find a very nice spouse, we can be living in the comforts, we can buy property. So depending on which element of the chart it activates, right? But I want you to see that in that 2008, when he stepped down from Chancellor, not only the Adana Dasha has changed for Saturn, but also Moon Vimshotri for Mercury. So they changed at the same time. Therefore, this time, this Saturn Antardasha, this sub-period will be much more important than others, right? So what is the third method? Not only we are using the other points to exclude the options, like we did in that second method, but we are also employing other dasha, either variation, Moon Vimshotri. Now you will see that if you want to be even better, you can see what was the Audaika at that time. It was Gemini. So in Rashi chart, Lagna Lord in 12, I'm stepping down. In the Dashamsa Gemini, 8th house, end of work. So stepping down, end of work. This is how the Audaika can connect those Rashi and Vargas, and you can build those stories. What was the Narayana Dasha? It was Sagittarius. In the D10, Jupiter, Lord, debilitated in the 3rd house. So also Marana Karakastana, losing resources, and 3rd house also similar to 8th house, end of work. So now you can see Adana, Vimshotri, Saturn, Saturn. Moon Vimshotri, Mercury, Mercury. Audaika, Gemini, and Narayana Dasha, Sagittarius with Jupiter debilitated in the 3rd house, Marana Karakastana. And now when you have those, you have more clarity, more confidence to say, this definitely is showing end of work, stepping down. If you don't use that 3rd option, there will be something happening, there may be some instability, but is it the big thing, right? And if you don't use the 2nd option, then you only have Rashi chart. You only know, oh, something related to 7th Lord in 6 happens. It could be related to relationship. It could be just showing that your partner or spouse is living somewhere else, or there are some challenges in the relationship. It may not be even connected to work, but it can. So you need to see the Dashamsa and you need to confirm with the other Dasha, like the Mantreshvara of Faldepika was advising us. So if you want to be superstar on the YouTube, then method 1 is enough, right? Just one factor in the chart and be bold in giving this super tangible prediction. Definitely will happen. If you want to be 3rd star service, then employ the other points to confirm, to exclude the options. And if you want to be pro, then use also the other dasha to see when they are all aligning for something big to happen. Okay, guys, so I think that will do for today. Thanks for being here with me on this channel. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe for similar videos like this. If you would like to have a consultation with me, analyzing your chart, also the dashas, the Navamsha and Dashamsa, please hit me up with this email here. And if you are still hungry and you would like to know how we interpret the Mahadasha, then please consider watching this one.